What you need to have in front of you is a treasures book. It needs to be open to page 280. You're also going to need to have a worksheet in front of you. This worksheet has 3 questions that you're going to be using or you're going to be answering as we read. So you can really kind of get your work done with me as you watch the video. Now, please don't pay attention to the screen because the print is so small. Instead, please use your book. This is just a visual to kind of make sure that you are on the right page. And right now we're on page 282. Sss, hissed Snake as he slithered out of his hole by the side of the road. He bared his fangs and frightened a family walking home from the cornfield. The mother threw her basket full of corn in the air. The children froze with fright. "Father!" the children called, and the father came running. "Sss," Snake threatened. "Come away," the father said, and the family took another path home. "I am king of the road," Snake boasted. "No one may use the road without my permission." That evening, the people of the village gathered together and spoke to the elders. Now, let's look back at your worksheet. I told you how I really wanted you to think about those characters, so here's your first question. Back on page 282, I want you to look for some specific information that you see that shows how the author introduced the snake and made him scary. Use some text evidence, and I know I don't have to say this to my friends in 4th grade, but make sure you have a capital and period for the several sentences you include for your response. Pause the video while you complete your answer. Now let's look on page 283 as we continue our story. "We are afraid of being bitten by Snake," they protested. "He acts as if the road belongs only to him." The elders agreed that something should be done, and so the following morning they went to Sacred Mountain, where Desert Woman lived. She had created the desert animals, so surely she could help. "Please do something about Snake," the elders said. "He makes visiting our neighbors and going to our fields impossible. He frightens the children." Desert Woman thought a long time. She did not like to interfere in the lives of the people and animals, but she knew that something must be done. "I have a solution," she finally said. Turn to page 283-4, and remember that you're looking at the book, not the video. Dressed in a flowing gown, she traveled on a summer cloud across the desert to where Snake slept under the shade of a rocky ledge. "You will let people know when you are about to strike," the Desert Woman said sternly. And so she placed a rattle on the tip of Snake's tail. "Now you are Rattlesnake. When anyone approaches, you will rattle a warning. This way they will know you are nearby." Convinced she had done the right thing, Desert Woman walked on the rainbow back to her home in Sacred Mountain. However, instead of inhibiting Rattlesnake, the rattle only made him more threatening. He coiled around, shaking his tail and baring his fangs. "Look at me," Rattlesnake said to the animals. "I rattle and hiss, and my bite is deadly. I am king of the road, and no one may use it without my permission." Get your worksheet back out in front of you, and let's look at the question I want you to think about. Go back and summarize. What was the Desert Woman's solution to stopping Snake from being scary? Did it work? Explain. Use text evidence. And again, my 4th graders, use correct punctuation. Pause the video while you complete this question. Now we've got our book open to page 286. Now the animals went to Desert Woman to complain. "Hoo, hoo," Owl said, greeting Desert Woman with respect. "Since you gave Rattlesnake his rattle, he is even more of a bully. He will not let anyone use the road. Please take away his fangs and rattle." "What I give I cannot take away," Desert Woman said. "When Rattlesnake comes hissing and threatening, one of you must make him behave." She looked at all the animals assembled. The animals looked at one another. They looked up, they looked down, but not one looked at Desert Woman. "I am too timid to stand up to Rattlesnake," Quail whispered. "He would gobble me up," Lizard cried and darted away. "We are all afraid of him," Owl admitted. Desert Woman smiled. "Perhaps we need a new animal to make Rattlesnake behave," she suggested. "Yip, yip," Coyote barked. "Yes, yes." "If you will help me, together we can make a guardian of the road," Desert Woman said. "I will form the body, and each of you will bring a gift for our new friend." She gathered clay from the sacred mountain and wet it with water from a desert spring. Working quickly but with great care, she molded the body. "He needs slender legs to run fast," said Deer. He took 2 slender branches from a mesquite bush and handed them to Desert Woman. She pushed the sticks into the clay. "And a long tail to balance himself," said Blue Jay. "Caw, caw, like mine," croaked Raven, and he took long black feathers from his tail. "He must be strong," cried the mighty eagle, and he plucked dark feathers from his wings. Now you're on page 288 in your book. "And have a long beak to peck at Rattlesnake," said Heron, offering a long thin reed from the marsh. "He needs sharp eyes," said Coyote, offering 2 shiny stones from the riverbed. As Desert Woman added a new gift to the clay body, a strange new bird took shape. "What is your gift?" asked Owl. Owl asked Desert Woman. "I will give him the gift of dance. He will be agile and fast," she answered. "I will call him Roadrunner." Then she breathed life into the clay. Roadrunner opened his eyes. He blinked and looked around. "A strange bird," the animal said. Roadrunner took his first steps. He tottered forward, then backward, then forward, and fell flat on his face. The animals sighed and shook their heads. This bird was not agile, and he was not fast. He could never stand up to Rattlesnake. He was too awkward. Disappointed, the animals made their way home. Desert Woman helped Roadrunner stand, and she told him what he must do. "You will dance around Rattlesnake and peck at his tail. He must learn he is not king of the road." "Me? Can I really do it?" Roadrunner asked, balancing himself with his long tail. "You need only to practice," Desert Woman said. Roadrunner tried again. Again tried his legs. He took a few steps forward and bumped into a tall cactus. "Practice," he said. He tried again and leaped over a sleeping horned toad. This is our last question and the one I want you to finish your time with. The animals did continue to be afraid of the snake. So think about what the Desert Woman decided to do. How did the other animals help? Summarize what happened in the story using complete sentences, and then make sure you put this paper somewhere where you'll know where it is, because you're going to add on to this for Thursday's work. Good job.